Hello everyone, hope we're all doing well. It's a new week, but I must be honest with you, I've still got the ump. I'm still a little bit annoyed by yesterday's defeat, but actually, not that aspect of it. Yesterday's performance at Villa Park is still somewhat left me feeling annoyed today. And there's two things in particular that's leading to that frustration. Now, one of those is a Gio thing. We're going to get on to that. But the second one is very much a David Moyes thing, and that is in the form of Mikel Antonio. Basically, I'm already annoyed that Antonio's starting against Everton, and we played him on Sunday. It's Monday, and I'm annoyed that he's going to start against Everton on Sunday. And I'm annoyed that he's going to start after the next international break. It's a bit of a blind spot for David Moyes. It needs sorted. It cannot continue. And that's my annoyance, if you like. Because usually the scoreline dictates my mood. We win, I feel good. We lose, I don't feel good. Simple as that, really. But when the scoreline isn't what is dictating my mood, it suggests there's a bigger picture here. And I think that is true in regards to David Moyes / Mikel Antonio. Needs sorted. Will it get sorted? Not sure. Actually, no, I don't think it will. We'll deal with that another day. But for today, I actually want to look forward rather than backwards. But we are going to have to look backwards briefly. Starting with yesterday's game. I can get over that pretty quickly. We lost to Aston Villa. Big deal. In the grand scheme of things, big deal. Yesterday's game is not going to dictate our season. How we end up in the league after 38 games will not be decided by getting beat against Aston Villa. They're a fantastic side. Sensational form at Villa Park. Great players, great manager. Things are going really well for Aston Villa. They've already stuck 6 past Brighton, so this isn't even their best performance or victory of the season. From our side of things, bad. All around. On and off the pitch. When I say off the pitch, I mean in regards to the dugout of West Ham yesterday. Too many incorrect decisions. Too many poor performances. I think Bowen and Emerson were the only ones to come out with a good performance. The rest were average at best. All round, a really bad day for West Ham. But the good thing is, there's 2 positives to take from this. One, it's been a while since I felt like that. The first time this season, I feel like we've got it wrong completely. And even when I go back to the end of last season, I couldn't tell you the last time I felt like this, actually. So that's a good thing. And the other thing is that it was Aston Villa. And with the greatest of respect to them, we haven't just been ripped apart by Nottingham Forest or Bournemouth or Wolves. That's not happened. It's a very, very good Villa side that's done that to us. So I find that easier to stomach. The other element of looking backwards, and this is my frustration, this is my Gio thing. Before we played Freiburg, so before that game in the Europa League, we'd had a good start to the season, but I found myself wanting a bit more evidence before I started to get my hopes up. I thought, well, we had a good start, but let's just see. Freiburg, Newcastle, Villa. That was our next 3 fixtures. Away in Germany, home to Newcastle, and away to Villa. Let's see what we do. And if we can come out of that with some good performances and good results, then I'll start to get my hopes up. So we won 1, drew 1, lost 1. It sounds alright, doesn't it? It sounds like a fair return. But it doesn't feel like one. It doesn't feel like a good return. I feel disappointed actually by that. When I say it out loud again, 1-1 drew 1 lost 1. What's the problem then, Gio? I think it's because one of them is a European game. The victory was the European game. Had we drawn that and then beat Newcastle, it might feel a little bit differently. Does that make sense? Probably not. I told you it was a Gio thing. Hey, told you it was a Gio thing. But because it was a European victory and then we've got 1 point from 2 in the Premier League, it's maybe left me feeling a little bit like I'm not sure yet. I still need more evidence. So while that was my barometer, by that 3 games where now I'm going to judge West Ham based on this, well, the outcome is I don't know yet. I still need a little bit more. What I have seen is possibly we're not quite on the same level as Newcastle and Villa, but I didn't think we were. I didn't think we were before we played them. I still think before those games I thought we could get 8th. And even today I still think we can go on and get 8th in the Premier League. I think we'll finish somewhere between 7th and 13th. The best possible outcome 7th, worst 13th, maybe drop down to 14th. I don't think we'll go that low. I still think we can get 8th. And I say that as a good thing. I did the video the other day about how 8th could get European football next season. And I was surprised that someone genuinely said that was being negative. And I thought, hang on a minute, what are you expecting then? 4th? I mean, what is it? I thought 8th is a good return for us. So anyway, we're still on. Yesterday's game does not change that. We can still get 8. That is my hopes for this season. And that things fall our way and we qualify for European football again. That's my hopes. and win a trophy. I'm not even fussy which one, to be honest with. I mean, ideally, the FA Cup. If I could pick one, that's what we'd win, because I've grown up dreaming of watching West Ham lift the FA Cup. But should we knock Arsenal out of the Carabao Cup and go on and win that? Wouldn't complain. Should we win the Europa League and qualify for next season's Champions League? I mean, that sounds mental saying it out loud, but we didn't complain at that either. But my hopes for this season are we finish 8th in the league and things go our way, so that becomes a European qualification for next season, and to win a trophy. Either of those things, just one of those things, and I would be happy. Now, just a reminder, hopes and expectations are two completely different things. Hopes and predictions are also completely different. But that's my hopes. We're still on course to finish 8th, and we're still on course to win one of those cups. Until we're out, we've got a chance of winning it. And let's be completely honest, we are one of the strongest teams in all 3 cup competitions. Doesn't mean we'll win it, of course it doesn't. But we've got a chance. So my hopes are we can get a bit of silverware and do well in the league. Anyway, before I go any further, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Gentlemen, this is your one-stop shop for everything that you need to look after yourself. Now, while David Moyes is reluctant to make a change by dropping Mikel Antonio, you can make a big change in your lives right now by heading on over there and getting something to take care of your facial hair. You might be a bit like Gonzo, like a beard. Well, they've got the beard hedger over there. You might be like me and you can't grow one. I'll pretend I don't want one. I don't want a beard. I can't grow one. But I'll pretend I don't want one. Well, you've got the handyman for people like myself, and I know I need to use it. When I come back tomorrow, it'll be looking all smooth, alright? You think, hey, he's had a good shave. That looks like a good shave you've had, you. Well, it's because I'll be using my handyman later. You can get all this over on the Manscaped website, but while you're there, treat yourself to 20% off by using the code HammersChat. All one word, no spaces, HammersChat. Get 20% off absolutely everything, plus free shipping worldwide as well. Trick or treat, Halloween around the corner. You don't need to look scary. Treat yourself, 20% off. Get yourself some new equipment and look after yourself up here and down there. New you. Hey, most people wait till New Year and go, hey, New Year, new me. Forget that. Middle of October. Middle of October, new me. Doesn't really rhyme, does it? But you can still do it. You're in control. You're in charge. Manscaped, 20% off, code HammersChat. Now, the next 5 fixtures for West Ham in the league. I've obviously taken out the European games and the Carabao Cup game against Arsenal for obvious reasons. They don't count towards the league. Simple as that, really. But I'm not making the same mistake as before. This mistake I made earlier, as discussed, I included the European game. 1-1 drawn, 1 lost one. Doesn't sound like a bad return. Feels like a bad return. You can disagree, of course, but this is my opinion. So for the next 5 games, I'm looking at the league games only. Everton at home, Brentford away, Forest at home, Burnley away, Palace at home. Now, obviously, there's one of that 5 that seemed a little bit trickier than the other, which is Brentford away. But on paper, all very winnable fixtures. Brentford aren't as good as they were last season. They had a good win this weekend. They're not as good as they were last season. Ivan Toney's obviously out. They're missing him. I think this is a good run of fixtures for us. And we need to yield a big points haul. We need a big points haul from this next 5 games. What we're looking at, maybe 3 wins and a draw. 10 points out of that 15, 1 defeat. I think that would be a good return. I think that would be a solid return and one that keeps us heading in the right direction, which is potentially getting European football. But it's important. Everton's going to be a tricky game. I've watched a lot of Everton this season. I don't think their league position actually reflects, how good they've been in games. I wouldn't maybe word it like that. They've been better than what they're better than what they are in the league, if that makes sense. It's going to be a tricky game for us on Sunday, but we can get up and running. We can get 3 points. Like I said, we beat Olympiacos, beat Everton. I think most of us will forget about that defeat against Aston Villa. But the next 5 games for us are important. Maybe not crucial. I think crucial was a bit too far. Very important for us to determine what we can hope for the rest of the season. We get a poor return off the back of that. It's going to leave me feeling a little bit deflated because I want to be heading into the Christmas period, and for what it's worth, 3 fixtures after that, we've got Tottenham, obviously a very difficult one. Then we've got Fulham and Wolves and Man United, and then it's Christmas. We've got a nice set of fixtures coming up in the Premier League. Now, we've done the hard ones. Villa away, Brighton away, Man City, Liverpool. We've done the hard fixtures. We've done those. Now we've got the easier ones. Tottenham's out the next, 9 games. Out the next 9 games in Premier League. The only one that I'm worried about is Tottenham. The rest of them, the other 8, The points are there to be had. We need to pick up a serious points haul, and should we pick up a serious points haul, we can go in the January transfer window, turning hopes into expectations, actually. So right now I sit here and say I hope we can get European football. If we are sitting 6th or 7th in Premier League, which we can do, we're 2 points away or something at the minute. We're not far away from the group above us right now. They'll drop points between now and Christmas, so we can pick up more, which we're capable of, due to the run of fixtures we've got, but also the 2 wins that we've had in European football now. We beat Olympiacos on Thursday. We're practically through. We will need one more win out the other 2 games, and with the greatest of respect, one of them is against that Serbian side. Is it TSC Topola Bakola? Baka Topola? I can't remember their name. TSC. They were awful. They were absolutely god-awful against us. We should win that game pretty comfortably. I don't want to say it's 3 points in the bag, but there is games like that. It's the same with international football. You know, you see teams, whoever plays Malta, it's practically 3 points in the bag anyway. We can beat Olympiacos, beat Everton. Suddenly it's game on again. So yes, I'm pissed off about yesterday's performance, but not the defeat. Losing to Villa, I don't like to shrug and say, so what? Well, there is an element of me like that. I mean, they're just a damn good side, and it was bad from us yesterday. It was bad. Moyes got it wrong, the players got it wrong. It wasn't good at all. But if we can get something against Everton, forget that. If we can win. We have to win. If we can win against Everton and win against Olympiacos on Thursday, suddenly next Monday they'll be doing a video saying, hey, have a look at this. 3 wins out of 3 in European football. We're looking up again. Bring on Brentford at the weekend. I'll be feeling much more positive. But I just think the next 5 games are really, really important to determine what we can look forward to the remainder of the season. And after these 5 games, obviously that puts on 14 games played in the Premier League, a third of the way through the season. I think that's enough. I go back to before the Freiburg game. I didn't feel like I had enough evidence. I thought, good start. I need a bit more before I can get excited. I need more. I've had more and I'm not more excited. I wouldn't say I'm deflated. I'm a bit still in that let's wait and see thing. So the next 5 put us on 14 games. That's more than enough evidence to judge West Ham so far this season. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm annoyed today for the reasons given. I think if we were to start Antonio on Sunday against Everton and he played badly and would lose, then you might find him angry of Gio next Monday. But should we win, you'll find a happier one again. I feel like what's the indecisive, I suppose, at the minute. I'm just a bit indecisive as to how I feel about what we could achieve this season. Yeah, next 5. That'll tell us a lot, I think. Right, I'm going to shut up and disappear. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe new around Hammer Chat, especially you that third of you. You lot, get subscribing. Manscaped, 20% off. Use the code HammersChat, one word. I will catch up with you tomorrow. We'll have our Olympiacos preview. Myself and Gonzo have the Olympiacos preview for tomorrow as well. Catch you then.